Every parent has been there. Your child melts down in the middle of the grocery store, screaming, kicking, throwing themselves on the floor while strangers stare and judge. Your heart races, embarrassment floods in, and you feel completely helpless. But what if I told you that some of the world's most effective parents rarely experience these dramatic public meltdowns? And it's not because their children are different. It's because they understand something fundamental about tantrums that most of us miss. In this video, I'll reveal 5 powerful tantrum management techniques drawn from Korean, Scandinavian, and French parenting wisdom, plus the surprising neuroscience behind why these methods work so effectively. I'll show you de-escalation techniques that work in 60 seconds or less, give you a complete public tantrum survival guide, and teach you how to tell the difference between manipulation tantrums and genuine emotional overwhelm. If you're ready to transform those explosive moments into opportunities for connection and growth, stay with me till the end. Before we begin, hit that like button, subscribe to Little Nest Guide, and ring the bell so you never miss life-changing parenting strategies. Let's master those meltdowns together. Before we dive into cultural techniques, let's understand what's actually happening inside your child's brain during a tantrum. This knowledge alone will change how you respond forever. When your toddler or preschooler has a meltdown, their prefrontal cortex, the rational thinking part of the brain, literally goes offline. The amygdala, their emotional alarm system, takes over completely. It's like their brain's fire alarm is blaring so loudly that the thinking part of their brain can't be heard at all. During this hijack, your child cannot access logic, reasoning, or language processing. They're flooded with stress hormones, cortisol, and adrenaline that prepare them for fight, flight, or freeze. This is why saying, calm down, or use your words during a full meltdown doesn't work. They physiologically cannot access those brain regions in that moment. Here's what matters. Your child isn't trying to manipulate you during these moments. They're drowning in emotions they don't yet have the brain development to regulate. Their nervous system is overwhelmed, and they need co-regulation from you before they can self-regulate. Understanding this transforms everything. Instead of seeing tantrums as behavioral problems to punish, you see them as developmental moments where your child's brain needs your calm, regulated presence to help them return to baseline. Now, let's explore how different cultures around the world have mastered this understanding. Korean parenting employs a beautiful concept called nunchi, the subtle art of reading the room and sensing emotional states before they escalate. Korean parents are trained from generation to generation to notice the tiny shifts in their child's energy, body language, and tone that signal overwhelm is building. Rather than waiting for the explosion, they intervene early with what they call jeong, deep emotional connection and warmth. When a Korean parent notices their child's frustration rising at the playground, they don't ignore it or immediately correct behavior. They move closer physically, lower themselves to eye level, and offer a gentle touch or quiet presence. The technique: practice the 2-minute check-in. Every 2 hours during challenging times of day, before meals, during transitions, when tired, pause and truly observe your child. Are their shoulders tense? Is their voice getting higher or louder? Are they moving more frantically? These are your early warning signals. Intervene with connection before correction. Offer a snack, suggest a quieter activity, provide physical closeness, or simply acknowledge what you're observing. I notice your body seems really wiggly right now. Should we take a break together? This prevention-focused approach stops 70% of tantrums before they start, because you're addressing the underlying need, hunger, tiredness, overstimulation, disconnection, before the emotional flooding occurs. Scandinavian cultures, particularly Norwegian and Swedish parents, have remarkably low rates of public tantrums. Their secret? A philosophy called friluftsliv, open-air living, combined with radical acceptance of all emotions. Scandinavian parents understand that children have intense emotions because they're learning to be human. They don't label tantrums as bad behavior requiring immediate suppression. Instead, they see them as weather patterns, temporary, natural, and something to move through rather than fight against. When a tantrum happens, Scandinavian parents often say, "I see you're having big feelings right now. That's okay. I'll stay with you." Then they do something counterintuitive. They get quiet and still. No big reactions, no lengthy explanations, no anger or frustration showing on their face. Just calm, grounded presence. The technique: master the lighthouse stance. During a tantrum, imagine you're a lighthouse in a storm. Lighthouses don't chase boats, argue with waves, or get swept away by weather. They stand firm, steady, and present, offering guidance without being moved by the chaos around them. Plant your feet hip-width apart. Relax your shoulders. Breathe slowly and deeply. 4 counts in, 6 counts out. Stay physically close but give space. Your regulated nervous system becomes the anchor your child's dysregulated system can synchronize with. Additionally, Scandinavian parents build in what they call utpause, mandatory outdoor breaks. When emotions run high indoors, they bundle up and go outside for 10 to 15 minutes regardless of weather. The sensory change, fresh air, and space to move allow the nervous system to reset naturally. This simple habit reduces tantrum frequency dramatically. French parents are famous for having well-behaved children in restaurants and public spaces. Their secret isn't strictness. It's something they call la pause, combined with crystal-clear expectations set ahead of time. La pause means the pause, a brief moment of waiting before responding to every request, complaint, or demand. French parents don't jump immediately when a child fusses. They pause for 5 to 10 seconds, observing whether the child can self-regulate or problem-solve before intervening. This pause teaches children to tolerate small frustrations and builds their capacity for delayed gratification, a critical skill for tantrum prevention. The technique: implement the framework conversation before every potentially challenging situation. French parents sit with their child before entering the grocery store, restaurant, or airplane and clearly outline expectations using this formula. Here's where we're going. Here's what we'll do. Here's what I need from you. Here's what will happen if you need help with big feelings. For example, we're going into the grocery store. We'll buy food for dinner. I need you to stay close and use your walking feet. If you start to feel frustrated or want something, you can tell me with words. If your feelings get too big, we'll step outside together to take some breaths. Do you understand? This framework gives children predictability, which dramatically reduces anxiety-driven tantrums. Their brain knows what to expect, and they have a clear script for managing emotions if they arise. French parents also master the art of the firm but warm no. When they set a boundary, they don't over-explain, negotiate endlessly, or waver. They say no calmly, acknowledge the feeling, "I know you're disappointed," and then redirect attention without lecturing. The clarity itself is calming to a child's nervous system. Now let's get practical. When a tantrum is already happening, whether at home or in public, here's a neurologically informed de-escalation sequence that works in 60 seconds or less. Seconds 0 to 15. Regulate yourself first. The absolute first step is to regulate your own nervous system. Your child's mirror neurons are reading your state constantly. If you're anxious, angry, or panicked, their nervous system will escalate further. Take 2 deep breaths. Remind yourself, this is not an emergency. This is a developing brain having big feelings. I am safe. My child is safe. Drop your shoulders, relax your jaw, soften your gaze. Seconds 15 to 30. Get low and close. Lower yourself to your child's physical level. Kneel, squat, or sit on the floor. This reduces the threat perception in their brain. You're not looming over them from a powerful position. Move close enough to offer safe physical proximity, but respect their space if they're flailing. Sometimes holding space 2 feet away is perfect. Sometimes they need you touching them. Follow their lead. Seconds 30 to 45. Validate without fixing. Use simple, calm words that validate their experience without trying to logic them out of it. You're really upset. I see you. This feels really big right now. I'm here. Don't ask questions, give choices, or try to problem solve yet. Their thinking brain is offline. They can't access those skills. Just name the emotion and stay present. Seconds 45 to 60. Offer regulation tools. Once you see the intensity drop even 10%, offer a simple regulation tool. Let's take some deep breaths together. Model slow breathing. Or try, can you squeeze my hands really tight? Gives them something physical to do with the energy. Or, should we push against the wall together? Proprioceptive input calms the nervous system. For many children, this 60-second sequence stops the escalation, and within 2 to 3 minutes, they're regulated enough to talk, problem solve, or move on. Public tantrums feel different because of the added layer of social judgment and embarrassment. Here's your survival guide for the 3 most common challenging environments. Grocery store tantrums. Prevention. Shop after naps and snacks when possible. Give your child a job, holding the shopping list, finding items, pushing the small cart. Engaged brains don't tantrum as easily. When it happens, narrate calmly what you're doing. I hear you're upset. We're going to finish getting the milk and then we'll step outside together. Don't abandon your cart unless absolutely necessary. Your child needs to learn that tantrums don't immediately change the plan. If they're safe, let them have their feelings in the aisle while you stay close and calm. Most tantrums peak at 90 seconds. Strangers might stare, but remind yourself, every parent here has lived this moment. I'm teaching my child emotional regulation, and that's more important than strangers' comfort. Once you can, guide them to a quieter corner or outside. Validate, that was really hard for you. Your body had big feelings. Then, reconnect and complete the shopping or leave if they're truly overwhelmed. Restaurant tantrums. Prevention. Use the French framework conversation before entering. Bring a small quiet activity, paper and crayons, small toy. Order their food immediately when you sit down. When it happens, don't try to suppress it at the table. It will only escalate. One parent calmly takes the child outside or to the bathroom. The key word is calmly. This isn't punishment, it's regulation support. Outside, use the 60-second de-escalation technique. Once regulated, offer a choice. Your body is calm now. Are you ready to go back inside and sit with us, or do we need to leave? Honor their answer. Sometimes leaving is the right choice. And that's okay. You're teaching them their emotions matter, and you'll help them manage. Airplane tantrums. Prevention. This is the hardest environment because you cannot leave. Prepare extensively. Bring new small toys they haven't seen. Pack abundant snacks. Time flights around sleep if possible. Use screens without guilt if needed. This is survival mode. When it happens, stay calm and close. Use whisper techniques. Let's use our quietest voice. Can you whisper with me? Sometimes the novelty helps offer comfort items. Lovey, pacifier for young ones, headphones with soothing music. Try the change of scene within limits. Walk to the bathroom slowly, look out different windows, visit the flight attendant area. If allowed, movement helps regulate. And here's the truth. You may do everything right and they may still tantrum. Babies and toddlers sometimes cry on planes. You're not a bad parent. You're a parent with a child who has an immature nervous system in an overwhelming environment. Be kind to yourself. This is the question every parent asks. Is my child manipulating me? Or are they really struggling? Here's how to tell, and why it matters for your response. Genuine overwhelm tantrums. These happen when your child's nervous system is truly flooded. Signs include, they cannot stop even when they want to. Their body is completely dysregulated, flailing, can't make eye contact, can't hear you, sweating, red-faced. The tantrum doesn't stop when you give in to the demand. They're genuinely distressed and frightened by the intensity of their own emotions. These tantrums need co-regulation. Your child needs your calm presence, validation, and help returning to baseline. Meeting these tantrums with punishment or isolation damages their trust and worsens future regulation. Manipulation tantrums, strategic protests. These happen when your child has learned that big emotions get them what they want. Signs include they can stop or modulate the intensity based on audience. They make eye contact to see if you're watching. The tantrum stops immediately when they get what they want. They're more in control, no sweating, can hear and respond to you, escalate and de-escalate strategically. These aren't about a flooded nervous system. They're about testing boundaries and learned patterns. The response difference. For genuine overwhelm, stay close, validate, help regulate, then address the situation later when calm. For manipulation tantrums, stay calm and hold the boundary firmly. I know you want the candy, I can see you're upset. The answer is still no. Don't engage with the dramatics. Give attention to calm behavior, not escalated behavior. When they calm down, which they will, validate the feeling but maintain the limit. You really wanted that candy. It's hard when we can't have what we want. I'm proud of you for calming your body. Here's the nuance most parents miss. Even manipulation tantrums aren't malicious. Your child isn't evil. They're experimenting with power and learning what works. Your consistent, calm boundary holding teaches them that emotions are okay, but don't control outcomes. And sometimes a tantrum starts as strategic, but becomes genuine overwhelm when they can't stop themselves. In those moments, shift from boundary holding to co-regulation. The beautiful thing about understanding the neuroscience is that you can be flexible and responsive. Let's recap these powerful approaches into a practical toolkit. Before tantrums happen, use Korean-style nunchi to read early warning signs and intervene with connection. Build in Scandinavian outdoor breaks to prevent nervous system overload. Use French framework conversations to set clear expectations. During tantrums, regulate yourself first. Use the 60-second de-escalation technique. Be the lighthouse, calm, steady, present. Offer validation before solutions. In public, remember that you're teaching regulation, not performing for strangers. Take breaks outside when needed. Bring prevention tools, snacks, activities, comfort items. Practice self-compassion, differentiating types. Ask yourself, is my child flooded or strategic? Respond with co-regulation for overwhelm, calm boundary holding for manipulation, and flexibility when one becomes the other. Out of these cultural approaches and techniques, which one resonated most with you? Which will you try first with your child? Share in the comments. Your experience could be exactly what another exhausted parent needs to hear today. Thank you for watching and for doing the hard work of conscious parenting. If this video gave you even one strategy that might help during the next meltdown, please like, subscribe to Little Nest Guide, and share it with other parents navigating these challenging moments. Remember, tantrums don't mean you're failing. They mean you have a child with big emotions and an immature nervous system learning to be human. You're exactly the parent they need. This content is educational only and is not a substitute for professional advice. If you have serious concerns about your child's emotional regulation or behavior, always consult a pediatrician or child development specialist. May your days be filled with more connection than chaos, and may you meet every meltdown with the calm, regulated presence your child needs. See you soon on Little Nest Guide.